Well, hello Internet! In this video tutorial, part 6 of my After Effects tutorial series, I'm going to show you how to reverse animations, and I'm also going to show you how to create parent-children animations so that we can create this really cool Flappy Bird animation. Alright, so we're going to be using all these graphics. In the description, there is a link to all of them. I drew all of this stuff in Illustrator so you could use it. And here we are in After Effects. Alright, so the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new composition. And I'm going to call this Intro Comp. And I am going to leave it exactly as it is here, except I'm going to change this to 30 for the frame rate. And I am going to make the background color a deep blue type of color. And I think that's pretty good. You can see down here the hex code. If you want to use exactly the same one, doesn't matter. And then let's create this composition. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm just going to start going and adding additional information. You already saw all of it. I'm going to create a new composition. This is going to be a pre-comp. It's going to use everything exactly the same. Click on OK. And why don't I go and create another one? So let's go. This is going to be comp 2. Everything the same. Click on OK. All right, so we have all our compositions. I'm going to open up comp 1. And the very first thing I'm going to do is come in here and type well. And I'm going to use an Arial font that I am certain you have. I'm just going to use Arial Black. And let's increase the size of our font here. So that's at 244. And then just move it into the middle of the screen. And let's animate it just to get going here. So I'm just going to come down here, make sure this is selected. I'm going to hit T for opacity. Click on this right here. Then I'm going to jump ahead 1 second. So let's come out here and then come over here and add a keyframe. And the opacity is just going to go from 0 down here. So let's drag that to 0. And there we go. We just created our very first animation. Okay. Now I'm going to come in and do our other text element. I'm just going to select down here so I don't have anything else on the screen. Click inside of here. And I'm going to type in hello internet. Double click everything here and go and shrink down this text. Come in here and position it underneath this. And what I want the text size to be is basically the same width as well. And we can select both of these elements and align them in the center. So now we know they're centered. Let's just drag them down here so that they look good. And I decided I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So let's have that be 360. And the hello internet is at 113 pixels. Again, this is for Arial Black. Select both of them and click on Align. And again, Align Center. And I'm going to animate the hello internet part by going into Effects. And then Animation Presets and Text. And Animate In. And I'm going to use drop in by character. So I'm just going to come in here. And for the hello internet, just drag drop in by character right inside of there. I'm then going to come in over here. And under text and animator 1, I'm going to change the position on this. So I'm just going to make it go off the screen right like that. And we can see our animation here. Now all the letters are going to be falling into place. So that's good. And then I'm going to show you how to reverse this animation. But I want to draw in my orange box as well. So deselect everything, come over here. And for our fill, I'm going to make this orange. So let's try something like, that's not very nice. There, that's good. Click on OK. You can see our hex code right there again if you want to use the same colors as me. And I'm going to move up here so that I can see all the letters on the screen all at once as I draw this in. Again, make sure everything's deselected and no stroke. And I'm just going to draw our orange box over top of this. So something like that. And then grab this shape layer and drag it underneath all the other text. Well, that's a little bit extreme. So if we want to change our color here so it looks a little bit better, just open up all these where it says fill 1. And then you can see the color is right there. And we can come in and grab this color and then make it a more reasonable color. So I guess brown actually looks a little bit better. So let's just leave it be like that. Click on OK. All right, so that looks pretty good. Then I want to roll this back to the 1 second mark. And I'm going to go and animate the orange square or rectangle that we have here. Let's go back to the beginning. And how we're going to do that is go into path 1 right there. and go and animate this, and then also move to 1 second and add another keyframe, which is by clicking on this little diamond here. Go back to the beginning, and then we're going to scale down our rectangle. We can come up here and click on this little tool, this pan behind, and we can see the pivot point is here in the center, so that's good. You know, actually, instead of messing with the path, I'm just going to go and scale with transform rectangle. So go and check that where it says scale. And then at the beginning, we're just going to shrink it down like this. And I have it at 0. And then I can jump 1 second into the future here, and then increase the scale back to 100. So let's see what that looks like. Not really in love with that. Let's go and speed up the animation just by bringing this keyframe in here. I'm dragging it further up. So let's come in and see where that's at. So that is at 8 seconds. So let's play it again. Boom. There, that looks much better. All right, so we got hello internet. All right, good. Another thing we could do if we wanted to change the speed of this shape being drawn on the screen is come right here where we have our graph editor. Just click on that, and you can see if we have this little eyeball down here, we can go and show animated properties and such, and we would be able to speed it up that way. But I'm not going to do that because I just basically moved the keyframe, got the same results as I was looking for. So that's good stuff. All right, so that's pretty much perfect. Actually, I'd like it to be open right before the H hits. So I'm just going to drag it just a little bit more. And there we go. So boom. So pretty much exactly when the H hits, we are going to have our rectangle there. Perfect. All right, so that's exactly what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to show you 2 ways to animate this so that the animation goes in reverse. Let's start off with this. So I'm going to select these 2 keyframes we have right here. And I'm going to hit Control-C or Command-C. And let's move ahead to, say, 3 seconds, which is what we have here in our timestamp, and paste. Now we can have both of these selected. We want to right-click on one of them. Come down here where it says Keyframe Assistant, and then Time Reverse Keyframes. And now if we come over here and play this, you'll see that the well disappears. Now another way we can do this is we'll play around with these other animations. So this time we'll play around with the hello internet part that has the effect on it. What I'm going to do here is come right here where the animation ends. So right there. Timestamp on that is 2:16, but you can just eyeball it. I am then either going to hold down Alt or Option, and then this square closing bracket to cut off the end of that animation. And let's do the same for this animation down here. So again, Alt or Option and the square bracket. And then we can do the same here with this animation. It's going to be up here a little bit. Well, let's wait on that. Okay, so I got the hello internet part. What I want to do is duplicate it now. So Command or Control D. Boom, made a duplication. And let's do the same with this bottom one. Command or Control D. Duplicated both of them. Then I can select these animations, right click, and go to Time, and Time Reverse Layer. So let's do that with that one. You can see that it looks a little bit different. It has that little line under it. And again, go to Time and Time Reverse Layer. And now I can go and select these guys. Make sure you have your selection tool selected. And then you can go and grab this guy and just move it up to the end where it finished its animation. And then do the same with this. And now we play this. You can see the animations start and then they go in reverse. All right, so good stuff. And we can also come right here to the end, select this guy, and then hit either Alt or Option with our square bracket. Boom. Both those animations finished. Now let's create our next animation. I'm going to go and get our text tool, and I'm going to go paragraph, and I'm going to set my paragraph to go to the right. And character, I'm just going to use Arial again, and that's way too big, so let's shrink that down. And before we start typing, let's go and set this to auto, and then type Adobe After Effects. Get our selection tool, drag it over here. Way too big, so let's shrink down this text. I have it at 155, that looks fine. And I can go, well, I'm going to wait for a line. Then I'm going to go and get our stroke tool, which is a pen tool we have here. Deselect everything, by the way. And then just draw a line here to down here. And let's go and add a stroke to that. So stroke, okay, white, 20 looks perfect. And that lines up pretty good. Then I'm going to come over here to the paragraph tool. This time I'm going to switch to this and text and character. And I want to use the same orange color that I used before for our shape. So let's just come in here, come down here where it says fill, open this orange up, and let's go and get this hex code. So I copied it. Then I got my stroke that I have here. It's still selected. Select that and come to stroke and then paste in my orange that I just copied and click on OK. Does that look good? No, it doesn't look good. So let's cancel that. Let's let it be white. All right, you learned something new. Okay, so now we're going to go deselect everything and text, and let's just pop over here. And I'm going to type in reverse parent child. And I want these to be orange. So let's select all of them, and let's paste our orange in now. There, that looks good. Click on OK. Selection tool, and then just align those together. Can come in and select all of them, and then just move it to wherever you'd like. I'm then going to select Adobe After Effects, and I'm going to create a mask for it. So I'm going to go get our rectangle we have here, select it, and go and draw around this. Then we can make our text appear and disappear. Let's jump ahead, let's say like 3 seconds. So just to keep it simple, let's just have our timestamp be at 8. Then I'm going to go Adobe After Effects, mask, and we'll be animating the mask path. So just select that. And then let's go back to the beginning where our animation begins. So right here. And let's also, we can see here our animations are cutting into each other. That's not good. So what we want to do is go and Alt or Option and hit the opening square bracket. And that cuts that off. So now we don't have that problem, but we do have it for all the other ones. But don't worry about that. We can just select them. So we can select this stroke we have here. Do the same thing. Alt Option, opening square bracket. And then go to this one, Alt Option, opening square bracket. So now they will not overlay. And now you can see there is our other animation. And here's our new animation. But let's go and animate the After Effects part here. So I'm just going to select this guy. And I'm going to go to Mask Path. Then I'm just going to grab this mask. Just click, hold down Shift, and drop it like that. Now for the stroke, this is going to be slightly different. Let's just select the stroke. And you can see this animates. See, there it goes. So for our stroke, I'm going to go up to 8 seconds again. Select the stroke. And you can see here, this is showing as orange. Don't want that. So whenever we select this, we want to make sure that we click right here where it says Tool Creates Mask. And now we can draw over it. So let's just draw a mask for that as well. And it's showing right there. Drag it back to the beginning where we want our animation to begin. Well, first off, let's go under Mask for it once again. Do our animation. So select there for our keyframe. And then drag back to the beginning. And then here we want the mask to come from the top. So Selection Tool. And then just hold down the Shift and move it up. And then we have our reverse. Again, we can see that these are both working. And then we come to our reverse child part. Select that. Again, we want to draw a mask for this. So just draw the mask around it. Like this. Looks good. Now let's have this come in from the left side. So I'm going to go out to 8 seconds again. Once again, under Mask, Mask Path, set a keyframe. Jump back to the beginning of our animation, right here. Selection Tool, grab our mask, hold down the Shift key, and have it come in like that. Then if we animate this, we get exactly what we were looking for. All right, so good stuff. Then for homework, what I want you to do is to go and reverse these animations like I showed you at the beginning of the video. And if you don't remember, what we're going to do is go Alt or Option closing square brackets. Then we're going to go Command or Control D to copy. We are going to go and right click on it, click on time reverse layer, and then we're going to drag it out. And there we go. And now you can see there it is coming on the screen, and there it is going off the screen. All right, so we just created 2 rather complicated animations. Now let's go and mess around with Flappy Bird. All right, so we're going to go and import our stuff. So let's go Import File, And the very first two things we're going to get is we're going to get our background and our logo. And we're going to import these as footage and do not create composition. And if you're on Windows, don't check Illustrator Sequence and click on Open. Okay, so we got both of those. Now for the bird, we're going to need to animate it, so we're going to import it differently. So right click, Import, File, and Flappy Bird. We're going to import it as a composition, retain layer sizes, and we're going to say Create Composition. Click on Open, and now we have a composition for Flappy Bird. So let's open up our Flappy Bird composition. There it is. And it's going to be way too big, so we want to select these guys, and we want to scale them. So just click on S for scale and take them down to like 15%. Whenever you do this, it's going to mess up the wings. As you can see, we can just zoom in here, select the wing, and put it into place. So right about there. Then we want to animate our wing. So we're going to come in and select the wing and go P for position. Then let's move it up, say 1 second. Click on position. And then go back to the beginning, and let's go and drop that to say 192, something like that. Something like, whatever, just eyeball it. And you can see there's the wings moving up and down. Then what you want to do is you want to go either Alt or Option and click on the little stopwatch. That's going to open down the expression right here. Come over here, click on this little play button. Then you want to look for Property, which is right here, and loop out duration. And what that's going to do for us is make this animation just run over and over again. All right. And maybe it's a little bit too slow. Let's go and move this keyframe. Whoops, let's not move both of them. Just select one of those keyframes. Try playing it again. Still a little bit too slow. It's not bad. Just play around with it until it looks like what you're looking for. All right, so there we go. All right, there you go, Flappy Bird. Good job. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to show you how null object grouped animations work. So let's go into Comp 2, and let's go and get our Flappy Bird background and just drag it over inside of here, and it's exactly the same size as your window, so it looks good. And basically what you're going to be able to do here is you're going to be able to assign a parent, and then whatever the parent does, all the children elements are going to do as well. So we're going to animate the logo. Then I'm going to show you how to have multiple birds follow each other on the screen as well. And if the parent and link thing is not showing here for you, what you want to do is just right click on source name, columns, and then come down here and make sure you have a check on parent and link, and then you will see it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create a null object. So just right click inside of here, go new and null object. You don't have to give it a name, just leave it be null. And your null objects are going to be completely invisible inside of your rendered video, so don't worry about that. Now you're going to want to go get your logo, which is just called logo. Drag that over here, and let's put it right in the middle. You can grab your null object right here, just put it over top of your logo. Then you can select your logo, and then right here where it says parent link, you can either use this little whip thing, or you can just go like this and assign it to null. Now everything you do to null is going to affect the logo. So just select your null, and let's go P for position, hold down Shift, and go S and R for scale and rotation. And we're going to animate all of them. So let's go, click on the stopwatch for all of those for null. Let's start with our position. We're going to raise it up off the screen. Let's go to scale, and let's set that down to 50%. And then rotation, let's say we want to rotate this 180 degrees. All right. Then we can jump in here around the 1 second mark. Then we can position this inside of here. Let's go and set our rotation back to 0. Set our scale to 100. And then position Flappy Bird inside of there. All right, so good stuff. And then let's just have it go off the screen with the position part. All right, good stuff. So the animation's going to come on. There's Flappy Bird, and then it's going to go away. Hey, maybe we want to stop this, though, for a split second. So I'm going to go to 110, set a keyframe for position. And then what was the position back here? It was 169. So let's raise that to 169 so it stays on the screen for a split second. And I just raised this value right there if you couldn't see it. So it's going to come in, do all its little things, pause, and then disappear. All right, good stuff. And then as soon as it's off the screen, we can go and do our Alt Option, closing square bracket, to end that animation. All right, so good stuff. Now I'm going to show you how to animate the birds and go and have birds follow each other. So just go and grab your Flappy Bird comp. So this guy over here, Flappy Bird comp. And there you can see, there is the Flappy Bird. Let's drag him off the screen though. Actually, let's go and get two Flappy Birds. So there's one Flappy Bird. Let's go get the other Flappy Bird comp. And that Flappy Bird, we're going to call Flappy Baby. So let's just rename this Baby. There we are. So Flappy Bird and Flappy Baby. And Flappy Baby is going to be shrunk down in size. So let's just do scale. And Flappy Baby, let's make it be 70% as big. All right, so just a little bit bigger. And then we're going to have Flappy Baby be right behind Mama Bird. Then we're going to select both of them and have them start off the screen. So there they are, just off the screen. Now you can go and get Flappy Baby, deselect everything, Flappy Baby, select Flappy Baby, and parent is going to be Flappy Bird. Now what we can do is let's just go in every second inside of here with our playhead and go and get our Flappy Bird transform, and we're going to change the position just for our Flappy Bird. So Flappy Bird position and bring it in on the screen, and there's the baby. Let's go and move another second forward, change the position on the Mama Bird. Again, another second. Move the position on the Mama Bird again. So move her forward. And then also raise her up in the air. So she goes right about like that. Go another second. And change her position again. Alright, so I got all my positions in here. Then what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to smooth these out. So I'm going to come down here where it says Convert Vertex Tool. And just click all these so that they're rounded off. Alright, good stuff. Let's sweep through our animation, see how it works. And looking pretty, oh, baby hit right there. So let's select this, and let's just go and drag it so that the baby bird doesn't get smashed by the pipe. So baby bird comes down, their wings are flapping, Mama Bird hits right there. So let's adjust this again, so Mama Bird doesn't hit. And, oh baby, we can adjust back and forth just a little bit. Maybe select this one a little bit. And play around with it until you get it exactly the way you want it. And there we are. And just missing it. And that's pretty good. All right, so there you go. And you can see the baby bird is going to follow Mama Bird wherever she goes. So pretty cool stuff. Now let's say you want the baby bird to sort of wait and then start following Mama Bird. You can also do that. So let's go and get Flappy Baby. Then you can say, let's move up here. Let's say that we want to start following Mama Bird whenever she's down here. You can go to Edit and Split Layer, right like that. And then what you want to do is go and have it follow Mama Bird for just the second animation. So maybe the Mama Bird starts coming down here, runs into the baby and says, hey baby, follow me. And then picks it up and takes it the rest of the way. All right. So there you go, guys. That is a whole bunch of different ways to do a whole bunch of really cool animations. And of course, you can come back inside of here to your intro composition and drag both of those new compositions that you created inside of here and play them out and stack them. And of course, put the other Flappy Bird animation after this animation. And you are done, and you have exactly what I used in my intro. So hopefully you found that useful, and like always, please leave your questions and comments down below. Otherwise, till next time.